Hi everyone, George Farmer here, content creator for Tropica Aquarium Plants. Welcome to this very special edition of Tropica Live. It's actually our 5th Tropica Live.
Ah, okay.
So thank you so much to everyone that's watching. Please use the live chat, a chance to communicate with our plant expert, Jonas. He's on hand to answer all of your plant questions. Also use it as an opportunity to talk amongst yourselves. I think we're developing a really lovely aquascaping community now on these Tropica Lives, so thank you so much. Thank you to the entire Tropica team for assisting us with Tropica Live, and a special thank you to Thomas, our webmaster, to Radu, our marketing coordinator, and of course to our special guest, Tommy.
Hello everyone.
From Green Aqua. So Tommy, why are you here?
I'm here to build 2 tanks, but one of them is done. So what you're going to see today is this one. I'm lucky enough to build this tank in honor of Mr. Windeløv, and all the plants he found in Cuba. We're going to use them in one setup.
Yes.
And since it's me here, it's going to be an Iwagumi. That's not a real surprise, I guess.
I think it's safe to say that you are known as the Iwagumi king at Green Aqua. Is that your comfort zone, would you say? Yeah,
definitely it is. So that's the best I do with working rocks. It's where I'm most natural.
Yeah.
I like to use other hardscapes as well, but this is what comes to me naturally and quickly.
Well, just behalf on everyone at Tropica and everyone that's watching, I think it's we're also grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you're here. I've not seen you for a few years, so it's really cool to hang out again.
Quite long.
I'm really excited to see what you come up with. I'm sure everyone's going to learn loads, including me. So, yeah, let's crack on. Okay, it's time for the first giveaway. That's exciting, isn't it? Straight away.
It is.
So with that in mind, let's play our beautiful merch video. Okay, time for our first giveaway question. I'm going to read this word for word. What is the name of the popular small leaf carpeting plant originally discovered by Holger Windeløv in Cuba? Now you need to give us the absolute full name with correct spelling, punctuation, etc. If you're not sure, check out the Tropica website, tropica.com. Write your answers in the live chat and we will draw a random winner at the end of the live stream. So good luck everyone. Okay, time to start scaping.
Okay.
So what's the first thing you do?
Take out this.
Yeah, good start.
It's usually I go with a base layer of first soil in there. Okay. I don't like to put the rocks directly on the glass. It's just you're never going to hurt the glass, but it's like the scratchy noises and so on. It just makes me nervous.
That makes sense.
So yeah, first layer of soil.
How many bags do we need?
I don't know. First we're going to just.
So I just pour it in for you?
Yeah, please.
Can you talk about the soil? Why do you like this soil in particular, maybe?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, please try to concentrate it here and then sort it out. We're going to use the Tropica soil, of course, and this is really nice. You don't need a substrate layer underneath. You can get away with just using the soil. We're going to need another bag, definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the grain size and the structure of the soil is perfect for the plants to grow, and we don't have a scissor to open the bag.
Do you not bring your own toolkit, Tommy? Oh my God.
I was asked what I need, so... Okay, so yeah, the grain size and the structure is perfect for the plants to root.
Okay.
And the amount of nutrients in the soil are great, especially in the first few weeks when the plants really need to accommodate to being underwater and start to grow and develop.
Do you find it has an ammonia spike?
Not really, so not as much as we used to have with soils a couple of years ago. Now all this changed a lot throughout all the soils.
Okay.
But yeah, Tropica was the very first ones that we don't have such
so much of a
and nowadays the fill-up process is much cleaner than it used to be.
Yeah.
So whoever used active soils, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, they know the factor when you fill up and it looks muddy,
really
and so on. With soils like this, it's perfectly clean.
You can also use a red colander to help avoid the.
Of course. I hope you have yours on you.
I don't generally bring it anymore.
How are we going to fill this up?
Magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first layer of soil. Basically, what you don't know yet from seeing the tank is that it's gonna be put at the Interzoo on the stand like sideways.
That's right. So just a bit of context for you. These aquascapes are being created for Tropica's booth at Interzoo 2022. This has a very unique location on our booth to celebrate Holger's discovery of these aquarium plants in Cuba. And it is actually kind of, it's going to be viewed from this side. Is that right, Tommy?
Yeah, so actually this is going to be the front of the tank, and then this and this side going to be properly visible. So I'm going to try to make sure I build a scape that's nice from these two sides. And just getting into the plants a bit. It's actually 3 species we are talking about. Obviously HC Cuba, one of the biggest hit carpeting plants out there. So there's going to be the carpet around, and then I'm going to try to make a V-shape sort of mountain, and we have 2 stem plants to include in the tank. The Proserpinaca, palustris Cuba, and the Ludwigia inclinata Cuba. So these are stem plants. Nice reddish tint on them, so sort of like a volcano effect. I don't want it to be cheesy. I don't want to overdo it, but basically we're going to have a carpet all around, then the mountains and the stem plants hidden behind the mountain. Another thing behind the thinking of this, the tank has to be transported to Germany, so I can't really make as high of a soil layer as I normally would. Probably, but having the stem plants in between the rocks, I can actually get away without having too high of a soil, because the plant's going to be high in the background themselves. Okay, good.
So should we move on?
Soil is in.
Soil's in. Next step.
Yeah. Next step. First pieces of rocks. And
so this is really interesting for me as someone that enjoys making Iwagumi layouts. What's your thought process? I always start off with the biggest and work my way down. Do you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So I basically choose my main stone.
Let me know if you want this moving.
Bit special. No, it's fine at the moment. Thank you. Bit special with this one is basically we're gonna have 2 main stones because of the 2 sides. So the 2 stones gonna create the V shape I've just been talking about. So first of all,
so this is what, black lava, I guess?
This is blackish, bit reddish lava. They're going to be almost black once underwater. So
it's definitely suiting that volcano theme then.
Yeah, it's definitely. So the first one.
Can I just give some attention to your process in general, because you haven't actually got a firm idea of the layout yet.
No.
Because a lot of people will just assume that you've practiced it and you're just going to kind of do it in here. Tommy has literally got a load of random stones and he's going to create it on the fly for us, which I think is great, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, actually I just checked out all the lava stones you have and picked out a few pieces that were to my liking. And yeah, now we're going. Actually, I didn't even know the actual size of the tank, so I was really on the fly with that. We're going to remove this. Probably been used before, so there's some glue, but we're going to remove that later on. So there's going to be one side of the V shape. I try to push it into the soil so it really sticks in place and it won't move around later on. Again, mostly for the transportation ideas. And for example, this stone, this side is really interesting. There's a lot of texture. It has a lot of holes in it. The other side is almost completely flat. So whenever I choose and start placing the stones, obviously I'm trying to put the interesting side to
facing
where I'm going to look at. So this one I don't really care about the side behind, because we're going to have all the stem plants in here. So yeah, this is going to be the first one. Don't worry about it. Actually, put it this way so it has more of the pointiness outside. and I don't want to completely close it off because probably we're going to have another one behind it. And
it's just worth reminding the viewers that it's going to be designed to view from this angle, so people that are viewing it from straight on, it might look a little bit, you know, not a traditional Iwagumi, but yeah,
definitely not.
Yeah. That's okay. We're happy with that.
I just crossed the camera.
Swap over with you.
And this is going to be the other side of the V shape. I'm trying not to scratch the glass. And
so how many Iwagumi layouts would you say you've created up to now, roughly, to the nearest 10?
50-ish.
50? And
probably. I don't know, to be honest. But yeah, a lot of them.
Most of them for Green Aqua, I guess?
Yes, of course. So I do most of my builds at Green Aqua. Actually, I think this is my first time of being a guest builder somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, we're very happy to have you.
Really appreciate the opportunity I have with this. So yeah, another thing I really love about lava rock is they fit in quite nicely. Almost any time you pick out two pieces, you can find a way that they're going to lock in together. And even if, for example, if I wanted to fill it up with soil behind it, they're really good at catching the soil and not letting it through. So if you build a mountain or something, you don't need as much artificial stuff put in behind to keep the soil rolling down.
Okay, you could just rely on the stone itself.
Yeah, they're going to probably hold it by themselves.
Interesting.
So yeah.
So what are you thinking now then with this? What's your thinking of this? So if we go into the GoPro, can we see that? And people can see like top down, what's the... So is this the V shape you're talking about?
This is the V shape I've been talking about, but now the tank itself is quite flat. If I look at it, I like to fill up the tank as much as I can in height. Some of it will come from the plants in this actual case, but I definitely want some higher pieces. So I'm looking for something in here. If we're going to grab a stone that we can put on there.
Is this
to make it higher?
I've got a big one there and a smaller one there.
Thinking this one. Yeah, I'm going to see if it fits my purposes. Again.
I've actually got some. I went on Instagram earlier, Tommy, and I've got some questions from the audience.
Okay.
So you just before I do some pop quiz for you?
Yes,
is that
please
right?
do.
Just bear with me, guys, while I'm on my mobile device. And here we go. So
this one you're going to be able to control, okay? Right?
Okay.
So don't need to mind it.
Quick fire, okay?
Okay.
Monte Carlo or Parvula?
Parvula.
Okay, carry on working.
Monte Carlo is overused.
Ooh, controversial. Oh, this is a good one. This might take a little while for you to answer.
Okay.
That first question was from Joa Joyce Chilupa. This question is from James Nature Aquatics. What drew you to aquascaping, and does it still mean the same to you now as it did then? That's a great question.
Yeah, it actually is.
So the first question, what drew you to aquascaping?
It was a complete accident. I just wanted a fish tank. I had a friend who I knew was into aquariums. He was living abroad at the time. I wanted some help, and he said, oh, there's a shop close to you called Green Aqua. Go there and the guy's going to help you.
Oh, wow.
And I entered the shop, and so the aquascapes, I was like, okay, that's what I want. So yeah, the sort of the minimalistic artistic stuff always drew me, and I found the same in aquascaping.
Wow, okay.
So basically that was it. And actually...
So you were a customer?
Yeah. Wow. I was a customer for 2 years before actually joining Green Aqua.
Did they ask you, or did you invite yourself to work for them?
No, it was they just put up an ad when I was just out of another job, and I was like, yeah, why not? I joined as regular salesman. So
oh wow.
Yeah, that's how I got there.
And now you are chief of operations.
Yeah. So I'm basically like the chief of everything.
You're kind of the guy that runs the whole.
So all the daily decisions, the financial decisions, all that runs through me now. So yeah, but that was 7.5 years in between the two.
Don't give too much away because there's a question later about dates. So
okay.
Yeah, this is looking good so far.
Yeah. So basically,
can you explain what your thought process is up to now?
Yeah, the process is this is wrong.
Is it?
Yeah, it's too flat. So
Okay, what
now
you
that I
mean, too
looked
flat?
at it from the top,
Would you want something
I can
underneath?
see that
Ah,
it actually makes more sense
okay.
this
Because
way.
was it two, and it's two kind of same level as this one?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So now it creates a bit of tension, especially that it's tilting forward. You have much more shadows underneath.
Yeah.
You can make sure with another piece that it actually holds in place and it won't tip over. Yeah, that seems fine, especially we're going to have some powder soil on top.
Okay.
That helps.
Yeah, we have powder.
Yeah, so whenever you're building, don't be frightened by the first layer of soil, how much it holds, because you eventually have to add a bit more that's going to stabilize your build. That's why I don't throw in all the soil I have at the beginning. I like to start with a base layer, put in the hardscape, and then use the rest of the soil to stabilize the system, to stabilize the build itself.
Okay.
Because all this is moving about,
Yeah.
but they will all stop once there is more soil around.
Okay, are you ready for more soil yet? Or you...
So yeah, basically I think I'm fine with the hardscape.
Yeah?
Powder? If you're watching and you've been watching my work before, this is not the usual very crazy Iwagumi stuff I usually do. But this is not the tank. It's like you have to accommodate for the occasion. It's this is much more about the plants than the hardscape.
Yeah, I mean, go back into the beginning. The reason we're doing this is actually for Interzoo 2022. We're an aquarium plant company, so it's important that we have aquascapes designed to showcase the aquarium plants to their maximum potential. That's not to say we don't appreciate a good hardscape composition, but that isn't the main focus like it is with many high-end aquascaping these days. What's your view on
like it usually is with me?
Yeah, are you into this complex sort of super skilled diorama style?
Well, not the super skilled one, because I'm not skilled enough, I think.
Well, I think
I've never done those really crazy builds, but even with Iwagumi, I'm sort of leaning to more hardscape, less plants, especially in the past few years, which is getting away from what the hobby is originally about.
Yeah.
So I think there's this new line of the hobby evolving where like making small models of birds.
Underwater, three-dimensional sculptures. Tiny,
it's really different than what it used to be, because all this should be about the plants originally. And there's nothing bad with either, I think. You just have to know that, for example, on an occasion like this, whenever this happens, just pull it out and put it back in. So, for an occasion like this, you definitely need more focus on the plants than the hardscape.
Yeah, and I'm an aquarium plant fan. I just love the way that aquarium plants are usually, provide so many benefits to the overall system. You know, extra oxygen, shelter for the fish, nutrient uptake. But as a purist aquascaper, the plants are just another form of adding aesthetic value to an aquascape. I guess the actual function of the aquarium plants are secondary to a contest level aquascaper.
Yeah, definitely.
For someone like me, the aquarium plants are a part of the function of an aquascape as well as the aesthetic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like we are quite different in that. I know that we've always been.
That's okay. We're allowed to be different. That's all right.
But that's what it's about. The hobby is that everyone
something for everyone
finds their own way.
Yeah. Are you happy with this depth of
preferences?
Sorry, mate. Are you happy with this soil at the front? This depth?
I think so. Yeah, this should be enough, especially with the powder. We should be able to plant the HC Cuba without any issues.
And do you plant into dry soil, Tommy?
Sorry?
Or do you wet the soil first, or do you go and dry?
I usually wet the soil. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it makes me much easier to plant.
Do you want to spray it?
Maybe just a tad bit. I'm actually not sure how deep it is under.
I think it's okay for Cuba.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
If you're happy with that, we can get another bag if you want.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. So you're happy with the rock layout? Yes. We do have a couple of questions. Question one from Michaels. Mixing stones, different kinds. Do you do that or don't you do that?
Don't.
No, you keep to the same.
Yeah, I don't usually like to mix any type of hards. Obviously, one kind of rock and one kind of wood that works.
But you don't mix.
The only time I mix is if I need very small details, and sometimes I can only get the very small ones from a different type of rock.
Yeah.
If they match in color,
Yeah.
then it's fine.
Okay.
So for example, for Frodo stones, you can use crushed bits of Seiryu
Yeah.
as details.
Yes, perfect. And
That's fine.
Dragonstone as well.
Yeah, yeah. But as for main elements, I don't like to mix different kinds.
Okay, next question is De Vries Aquariums, aka Rob. Tommy at Green Aqua, how did you come about using paper towel pieces to glue together your scapes?
I don't know where I've seen that first. It either might have been Josh Sim
Oh yeah.
or
Someone from Asia, I guess.
yeah,
So is
or Stephen Chung. One
Yeah.
of those guys when they visited us and made did the workshop at Green Aqua.
and you're using glue as well as the paper towel. How is it working?
Yeah, it's like you put a small piece of paper towel in between, or it can be actually fine filter mesh on these makeup cleaning sponges and stuff like this. You put a small piece in between two pieces of rocks or wood and just soak it with liquid super glue.
Wow.
And then there's a chemical reaction. It sometimes starts smoking even. It really heats up. So you have to be careful with it. But it creates a really, really strong bond. We only do that if we need to. So
Yeah, okay.
when you build something that wouldn't stand on its own, or when you build something that needs to be transported, for example.
So use your weapon. Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about the first plant we're going to plant. And where's this going? Is it going generally?
It's going all around.
Okay.
the
So
tank.
I'll focus on this bit
Okay,
here for
thank
starters.
you very much.
So which camera, Thomas? The GoPro. Okay.
Who's here?
So here we have the Hemianthus callitrichoides Cuba. Some of you may have heard of this already. Very popular carpeting plant. For those that don't know the answer to the first question, top tip. It was actually introduced in the hobby, I believe, in 2004. I want to say the first time I became aware of it was actually at Oliver Knott Aquascape. I showed you earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it used the Hemianthus callitrichoides Cuba and also the Ludwigia inclinata Cuba, which is another stem plant that we'll be featuring later.
Yep.
And it is an advanced category plant. It needs good light, it needs good CO2, ideally good circulation. You know, it is a carpeting plant, it is at the bottom of the aquarium, so it doesn't get as much light. And it also might not get so much circulation and therefore a bit less CO2 than other plants. So you do need to bear these things in mind if you want to have success with, we'll call it HC from now on, it's much easier to say.
Yeah, it is. And it's actually what I find with HC Cuba is temperature is really important.
Interesting.
So
in what way? Not too hot?
it likes it cold.
Cold, okay.
So especially in the development stage, after planting, while it grows into a proper carpet.
Oh, you're doing tiny portions, okay.
Sorry?
I'm
Yeah,
doing big chunks here.
That's my thing, but
Oh,
yeah.
right. I'll do smaller.
Do how you like, mate. It doesn't have to be the same all around.
Well, you know what I'm like, I don't usually use advanced plants. So.
So yeah, 22, 23 degrees Celsius
Okay.
until it becomes a carpet. After that, it can survive higher temps
Interesting.
for short periods of time.
Okay.
But that's my experience, that you need to keep it cool.
And
in
have
the
you noticed
beginning.
this with your experience in Green Aqua with like weather and stuff? How have you actually kind of noticed these things?
This is actually, it's not my own notice, it's from the guys at Green Aqua who've been in the hobby before me.
Okay.
And this is how I learned from them. And then sadly I've seen it as well. So we had issues actually in the old shop when the power went out. There was no AC and it was a really hot day. Actually, HC Cuba can die in a couple of days in the hot.
Or even established Cuba?
Even established. It needs a longer period of being hot.
Yeah.
But we just had then a 120p setup with Cuba only. Power went out for a day and that was it, actually.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. So
That was a long time ago.
tragic.
so.
When I know you mentioned Elatiny hydropiper as well, likes it cooler. I remember
Yeah,
when I last saw you, I
That's
think.
same. And actually with that I have my own experience as well. That as we went into the summer, so the current shop is properly air conditioned.
Okay.
but still, when it really sometimes extremely quickly goes from very cold to very hot, it can't keep up.
Okay.
And we had a 90 centimeter walk around tank in the showroom, which I built with elatine all around. And that was through the summer. It was always like from week to week. It was nice, and then it was brownish. Then it was nice, then it was brownish. It went like this.
Okay.
With the weather changes.
That is really interesting. So going back to a bit about your history then. So what does aquascaping mean to you now versus when you started? Do you still have it as a hobby, or is it because it's such a part of your job every day, day in, day out? Do you kind of come home and think about something else?
I don't do it at home anymore, not because I don't really want to, but certain elements. The water in my house is really, really hard.
Okay.
I have a lot of windows around the living room, so things are not ideal for a blended tank. No. And of course, we have a lot of tanks in the shop.
Yes.
So
you get your fix there,
today,
I guess.
Today what aquascaping means to me is getting out of the office when I'm fed up with my daily job and all the stress, and just go out and build something.
Yeah.
Which it's.
Is it fair to say that maybe the public perception of you might be a little bit skewed? I guess people just see you as a character on YouTube.
Yeah.
And don't realise what you actually do as a day job, and actually how far removed it is from aquascaping. Can you are you comfortable sharing that side of things?
Yes, of course. Yeah. So on YouTube, it might seem that that's my primary thing, to build aquariums and do YouTube videos, but actually, that's just me escaping from stress. So Balázs was the one who started taking on the YouTube videos, and then he sort of he appreciated to have some help, so he doesn't have to do it all alone. Yeah. And that's when I joined, and I sort of realized that it helps me a lot in my daily well-being.
Yes.
To be able to go out and build and trim. I sort of reinvented myself in aquascaping, so I would say the feeling is very similar to when I first started out, and I found out that spending an hour a week with your aquarium is not really it's not a burden. It's relaxing, and it's a nice thing to do. So I sort of have the same feeling today with aquascaping.
It's like reconnecting to the original joy.
Yes, of course.
Because you remember that sort of original childlike curiosity that I certainly got when I first discovered like Takashi Amano. I was just like so excited. So like, this is what I want to do, this is brilliant. And like becoming a complete sponge and just consuming all the content I could around Amano, Nature Aquarium. And now of course, it's almost, when you do something so much, it just becomes, you take it for granted, don't you? I guess, in a way. And that's why I'm a real big fan of just trying to be grateful for the tiny things, grateful for this beautifully healthy Hemianthus Cuba.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be healthy because it's straight from the greenhouse, but, and it's, I think, when you're in a position, where you have a fairly large following, like yourself, it's easy to kind of lose the childlike joy. That's the thing that I tried to connect with, that curiosity, what excited me about the hobby to start with, and that's why I love kind of making things more beginner friendly. And I know your channel is a bit more kind of high end, but you're still trying to make the hobby accessible, aren't you?
Yeah, so we try to do it both ways. We try to give interesting information for people who are already in the hobby and who have done tanks. I think you can constantly learn new things, even in stuff that you are quite familiar with.
Absolutely.
But also, on the other hand, we try to make it more accessible for newcomers, because there are a lot of people who are afraid of this. They think it's very difficult to do, and I'm always like, you just need to follow a few simple rules and then you should be fine. So I think it's just dedication. If you decide that you want to do it, then there's not many things that can go wrong.
And what about people that are on a really tight budget but still want to create a beautiful aquascape? What would you recommend to those sort of people?
I actually have the, okay, so another thing of getting out of the office is going out to the shop and joining sales. Sometimes I still do that. That relaxes me as well.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, we get a lot of customers with this. That okay, they love what we do. They love the showroom. They want to get started, but they don't want to spend so much money, energy. It doesn't matter what kind of investment you're talking about. High-tech setups are really different. And for those people, I always like to recommend starting with inert soil. So like sand or gravel base.
Okay.
Spend a bit more on hardscape that you would normally.
Okay.
And epiphyte plants.
Yes.
They are one of the nicest to work with.
Yep.
And
low maintenance.
They give you the best results with the least energy put into them.
Exactly. And you mean energy in terms of like
your energy
your
and the energy as for the plants.
Yeah. It's a great way to look at it. I love the term energy when it comes to aquariums.
Yeah.
You know the terms high tech, low tech. I think it's a bit misleading.
Yeah.
It's not really
high energy, low energy.
Yeah. It's nothing really to do with the technology. It's to do with the energy levels.
Yeah. There's not so much difference anymore in the lights, and the CO2 system is not so inaccessible as it used to be.
Yes.
So yeah, the high tech, low tech phrases are not so accurate anymore.
No. Yeah, okay. Second giveaway, I think it's time. So we don't need to play the merch video again, do we? Do we? Do we want to play the merch video?
Do I have to decide on this? Or someone else will?
Okay.
I lost the plant.
So the question for the second giveaway, I don't think we've already covered this, is what year was Green Aqua founded? So write in the comments. It's yeah, I knew them when they found. In fact, funny story. I co-founded the UK Aquatic Plant Society in 2007, and Victor and Balash were actually keen contributors. They were regular.
Yep.
They were regular folk on there. Good members of the community, and I think it was sort of 2008 or so. They were really keen to do their own thing, and then. Before we, not too long after that, not giving any too many hints away, they actually formed Green Aqua. So it was Victor Lantos, Balash Farkash, and Attila. I don't know his surname.
Nader.
Sorry.
Attila Nader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the rest is history. They've got one of arguably the best aquascaping store in the world. Would you say that?
Thank you.
You're a bit biased. I've been to a few, and it is up there. I have to say, I've never been to Asia, so I don't know if there's better stores over there.
I'm a bit biased, but I hear it so much that I start to believe.
Yeah.
And I always hope that it's true, because that means that they're doing a good job.
Yeah, but was that the kind of original intention, or was it just to create the best? What was the? Is there a mission statement behind Green Aqua? Is there like overall?
The mission statement and the basic idea behind Green Aqua was to show people that aquariums are not those algae-filled, overpopulated things that most people have at home.
What, like to change the perception of?
Yeah, so it was like introducing it to people that aquariums can be an artistic thing and can be really a nice thing in your home. So that was and all of this, the education and everything that goes with it. Of course, nowadays we have YouTube, but as you've mentioned, UCAPE's, the forum, actually the guys made the same stuff for the Hungarian community when they started Green Aqua.
Oh wow!
So it was really, education was really important for them from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And it goes throughout the whole history of Green Aqua.
Yeah.
Obviously, the place of giving this education changes with time.
Yes.
Now we are at the YouTube phase.
Yeah.
And let's see where the world goes. from here on out.
Well, yeah, you've got Web 3.0 coming up where you'll be like augmented reality aquascaping soon, I reckon. That's the next.
Yeah.
One step at a time, though. No, but it's great to see the shop doing so well, and you're obviously inspiring so many aquascapers, and that's absolutely fantastic to see.
Yeah, actually that's the best thing when we get the emails that we got new people into the hobby because of what we do, or we got people back into the hobby.
Yeah.
So
re-engaging them.
What this original statement was. So we get a lot of people that, oh, I've had a fish tank when I was a kid, but now I've just seen what can be done in an aquarium.
Yeah.
And they get back to it.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of, I guess, a lot of loyal customers that come in and share their work with you, and
yes,
really
of course, we get a lot of images all the time, personally and through the internet as well, and they share the joy they have from what we provided to them, and that's a really good feeling.
Yeah. That's cool. Let's go a little bit backwards. And why Iwagumis, Tommy? What connects you to Iwagumi so strongly? Why is it? What is it about them that you love so much?
To be honest, I can't really put it into words.
Okay.
I think everyone has that first, either a specific aquarium or just a general idea of aquariums that got them hooked.
Okay.
On aquascaping.
Originally inspired them.
And for me, that was Iwagumi.
Okay.
So,
was there any particular one?
No.
No.
It was just at that time I was just looked at the tanks in the Green Aqua showroom, and they had all these kinds of aquariums. Not as many as we have now, but there was, I think, around 10 showroom tanks when I started. And yeah, the Iwagumi is the minimalistic style of Iwagumi. That's what really got to me.
Yeah.
And I think because that was the most interesting for me, that's what I started practicing with.
Yes.
And nowadays, whenever I build an Iwagumi, I'm like, it goes quick. It just comes to me naturally how the rocks should stand. And I don't have the same feeling with other type, with wood or any other type of aquariums. So I still like to build different types. I like to build with wood, for example, the 3-meter tank we did in the past 2 days. I'm really glad I got to do it, and I really enjoyed building it, but it doesn't come as naturally as a stone-based layout.
But do you think that's a good thing, though, to step out your comfort zone in order to stretch yourself as a creator, maybe?
It definitely is. So whenever you get on with Iwagumi, sometimes now I feel like I can't really do it any better. I know it can be done better because there are people who do it better than me, but I'm feeling like you've got
to reach the plateau?
Yeah. And if I wouldn't step out, then where would I go with aquascaping? If I can't do better in what I'm already good at, then I shouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's why I would say I think we're done with the HC.
Okay, should we move on to the Proserpinaca?
Yes, that should be the next one.
Yeah, so I'll start preparing them. I'm gonna give you some more Q&As, and you can talk to the audience quickly.
Okay.
We just talked about that. What draws you to Iwagumi? What was your first ranking in the IOPLC? Have you ever entered?
My first one?
Yeah, and the last.
I've entered multiple times. The first one, I don't know the exact number, but it was around 1,200 or 1,300 levels.
What year was this?
I don't know, to be honest.
You can start planting.
Thank you. I honestly don't know, but it was a long time ago. And
what do you think about contests? What's your opinion?
I like them. I think it actually helps the hobby a lot.
Okay.
Especially the kind of contests where you get actual feedback.
Yeah, like the AGA
from the judges. That can help you grow in the hobby. I think they're a really important part of what we do, and
why is that?
It keeps people on their toes. without contests, we wouldn't have so many aquariums.
So you think competition is driving the evolution of the style? And
yeah, I think it's the same as I'm really into cars, so I can talk in car terms.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people watching that into cars.
Without Formula One and without motorsport in general, we wouldn't have a lot of stuff that we do now in our own cars.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with aquascaping and with any kind of hobby, that competition actually drives the evolution of the hobby.
I agree.
And it doesn't matter if you're talking about just new kind of layouts or even new products that help you achieve those high ranks. So it definitely drives the hobby in a good direction.
Good. I'm just going to talk about these plants for a little while.
Okay.
So this is Proserpinaca palustris Cuba, discovered by Holger Windeløv in Cuba. It looks very different to this once it's adapted to its underwater growth, especially in high lighting. It does have these serrated-like leaves, look a little bit like feathers, but under good light it will turn a nice red colour, and it'll provide a nice contrast to the Ludwigia and the Hemianthus.
Okay, and as for the build goes, I'm putting it in sort of the mid-ground of the tank, from all the sides where we can look at from, because this is going to be the mid-size in leaves. Actually, I've checked out the Ludwigia, which I've never used before, but it's going to grow quite big leaves, and I don't want the big leaves to be hiding out the Proserpinaca.
That's making sense.
So that's why this is going to be the second plant, and then we're going to have the Ludwigia in the very back side.
I think that's a really good tip, Tommy, to consider the final growth size of your plants and consider any adjacent plants nearby that might be overshaded.
It's definitely a very important part, and I'm really glad that Tropica started making photos and videos of the actual underwater plants.
Yes.
Because that was a really big issue of our hobby for a lot of years, that all the plant nurseries, they usually provided all the marketing materials with immersed form of the plants.
Yes.
Which is nice, but it's not what you're going to get after a few months in the aquarium.
Good. So I'll let you carry on planting that, and I'm going to talk about the Ludwigia inclinata Cuba. Highly advanced plant, needs very, very good light in order to thrive, good levels of CO2, grows very lush, kind of orangey, yellow, red leaves, very distinct patterns on the leaves. Very beautiful plant, but quite demanding. So it's one that Tropica aren't in production at the moment, but it may be at some point. We've got it a limited edition here at the moment, especially for this tank. How many? There's quite a lot here. Do you want all those preparing?
Nah.
Half?
I think let's start about 6 pots, and then we'll see.
6 pots coming up.
Thank you. It's so nice to have an assistant.
It's so great to be an assistant.
I do this all the time when people visit us at Green Aqua.
Yeah.
And now I get to be the one doing the easy work.
Yeah.
You have the trash can.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Yeah.
So now we get to the third type of plant.
Say again, mate.
Oh, now we get to the third type. Yes.
Let me know if.
Yeah, I've
got loads here, so as many as you need.
Great.
Yeah.
Trying to be as gentle as possible. The roots.
And what's your thoughts on stem plants? Do you like stem plants?
It depends on the aquarium.
Yeah.
So, for example, this is a bit weird for me, building an Iwagumi with 2 types of stem plants. Usually an Iwagumi for me means carpeting plants only, or just very, very small bush plants. But yeah, this is changing. So Iwagumi, I'm not good in Japanese, but Iwagumi, if I know correctly, it means like something like a line of mountains or something like that.
Oh, does it? I thought it meant rock garden.
Maybe.
I thought it was always said. I've been saying that for nearly 20 years, so I hope it is rock garden.
One of us is talking rubbish. We don't
Just
know
say it
which
with
one.
confidence. And
Yeah,
It's
that
okay.
is becoming true. So yeah, please, if someone knows in the comments,
yeah, let us know. What does
Translate
Iwagumi
it
mean?
us.
Just go Google, translate Iwagumi.
then we can sort this out
Yeah.
once and for all. I think you
that
can
enough?
stop now. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay, we can
Might
start
as well.
getting ready to fill with water, I think.
yeah.
And then we have a very,
Sort of
very special guest to introduce in the next sort of 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, so if you guys feel like I'm a bit nervous, there is a proper reason for me to be, actually, but you're gonna see what it is.
Some people might know I did a little cheeky live on my channel.
Okay,
earlier,
then
so
some people are already prepared
my hotel
for a
key here.
surprise.
Not very professional.
Two questions.
2 questions. Question 1, are there an odd number of stones in the scape?
I haven't even
1,
checked.
2, 3, 4, 5, yes.
Yes,
That's a good point. Why is that?
very professionally.
Why is that important?
It's sort of soothing to your mind. It's like if there would be an even number, it creates symmetry, even if the looks are not symmetrical. And that's a sort of thing I've discovered after a few escapes, that it just bothers your unconscious.
I've got a question for you then. So if you had a beautifully composed Iwagumi with, say, 12 stones, and you don't think you could make it look any better, would you have to put a tiny little stone in there to make it 13?
Probably, yeah.
What about 13 being unlucky for some people? Does that not bother you?
Not me personally.
But the odd number bothers you?
Yeah, that does. But not because of it being odd. It actually starts to bother me after some time. And I've had this before, that I built a tank, and after a few weeks I started feeling, you know, when you check back your tank, your opinion always changes,
Yes.
even on your own build.
Yeah.
And then I just noticed that something started to bother me. I couldn't really say what it was. And then I just spotted that I have an even number of stones.
Oh wow.
It's not really the number of stones in the build itself. It's the number of stones that you actually see when you look at it. So,
Okay.
for example, in this build, these two could even be considered as one,
Yes.
because they are so well connected.
Yeah.
Or a very small one like this doesn't really matter. It really depends on when you look at it. You can quickly count it even or odd. That's sort of the idea.
Is there any
Okay.
options to add some soil in here? And
That's
maybe
what I was actually thinking when I saw the
sprigs
so
of. Have we got any?
we just put just a bit of soil and
Okay.
then a bit of HC if we have some left.
We need a tiny bit.
And preferably powder. And,
Okay, but we can start filling with water slowly.
There's some powder on the floor.
Yeah. Can we get the water? Is he getting the water? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so the other thing what I did while you've been talking is that the Proserpinaca is not just in this spot in the middle, but actually I've put some in here as well. So from this side you're gonna get the graduation as well from HC Cuba to Proserpinaca to Ludwigia,
Okay.
and not just from that side where the main
That's great.
main one will be.
We can definitely put some soil in here.
Yeah, just a bit. I was checking if we can do the same somehow on the other side, but I don't really see an option
I
for
don't think
that.
so.
But yeah, it doesn't really. Yeah, just. Do we have something like a small
we need
shovel?
A bonsai scoop, don't we?
Sorry?
You need a bonsai scoop.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we'll use your hand. Put your
Okay.
Hand, cup your hand.
Sort of in there. Okay, it's sort of working. Yeah, that's good.
Is that enough?
I think
Bit
that's
more?
enough. Okay. Yep, that's good. And let's see if we can push some over to the other side, because then, yeah, this is a big hole. You see?
Yeah,
You might
Oh,
need
it's
some
all
more.
going in.
We
Yeah.
can put some in here as well.
Yeah, okay.
Now we are. We are done on this side.
Okay.
That's fine.
Just more on that one.
Fill it up here just a bit. So, thank you. Such a great thing. And do we have some Cuba left?
No,
Which
we can
put
get
in?
some if we need it. We can plant after.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll fill it up a bit later. More Cuba.
Just 1 cup.
We've got another question from Sam Pritchard. Is there any plans to revisit some of the tanks made in the Tropica lives? No, because they've all been stripped down, ready for the Interzoo 2022 tanks. So we're operating on a limited capacity of space in here. We have experimental tanks for new aquarium plants potentially. We've got now 9 aquariums for Interzoo 2022. So unfortunately we don't have the capacity to undertake that task. However, there will be regular updates of all of the Interzoo tanks, so you can look forward to plenty of aquascaping content that way.
Okay.
Some trivia regarding.
Okay, so we do have a formal, formal definition of Iwagumi.
Iwagumi, yeah.
It essentially just means rock formation. However, the rock formation part of it specifically refers to a mountain structure. In essence, the word was inspired by distinct mountain layouts.
Okay, the guys decide who wins.
Is it rock garden?
Whose description is this closest to?
Let us know in the comments. I think you win.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. The truth wins, mate. Truth always wins.
And whatever comes on the internet, that's the truth. So
obviously.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm happy
I'm happy that you're happy.
with this.
Yeah. I'm not happy about the bird poo marks. Here.
Yeah, they need to be cleaned off.
Yeah, we'll pick them off.
Actually, there are some on this, but there was a limited number of rocks I could choose from, so I decided not to care about these and let you guys clean it off later.
Yeah,
on.
well, they've got plenty of time for that, mate. Well, let's think about getting some water in here, and then we can introduce our special guest shortly.
Yeah, and until then, I'm going to start explaining how I want this trimmed later on, because that's actually a good aspect of any
Let's talk
aquariums.
about maintenance, actually. How would you maintain this?
The only thing I would need, okay, so the Cuba needs to be kept really low. That's just HC Cuba 101.
Yeah.
Trim it regularly, otherwise it's going to float up.
How soon do you trim it after installation?
I usually say whenever it's mostly covering the soil. So whenever it's like, it's getting close to being a carpet, that's when you first trim it. It's not really dependent on time.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like a visual feeling when we get there.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Cuban, the HC, I always say Cuba because this is what I mainly use from the Cuba plants.
It's the nickname, isn't it?
So yeah, so the HC needs to be trimmed regularly and kept quite low. And also it's important it doesn't really cover the rug build. And then the stem plants, I usually like to follow the natural lines of the rocks I have in the scape.
They call that the strata.
Sorry?
That's called the strata. That's
Okay.
a word for you. Yeah.
Okay,
Strata.
it's good. I was sure I didn't invent this method, but
Yeah, I think it's a good method. Go ahead.
but yeah, I think this is one of the most natural things you can do if you have stem plants behind any kind of hardscape.
Yeah.
It's a good rule to follow the line of the hardscapes.
Yes.
You don't have to trim it at the same level. Obviously, you want to see it, so it should be 0.5 centimeter, 1 centimeter, whatever above.
Okay.
But the line should be the same. So, for example, in this spot, I think we can see it in that camera, I would follow this line with the trimming. Obviously higher because the plant needs to be visible, but sort of about here, and maybe even have this sort of ditch in it, just a bit. And then in the middle, we have the 2 rocks coming up almost at the same height. So I would definitely follow those. And this would have been fun before we put water in the tank, but now it's not funny anymore.
No, it's just don't touch the light. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically following the line of the rocks coming towards the back. And in the very back, we can use the height of the highest rock as reference for trimming. So the Ludwigia in the very back should be about the same height as the highest rock, which we're going to need to stabilize. Just a very small bit of rock later on just put it in here
Yeah,
so it doesn't wobble.
When we train right down, we'll probably maybe even...
That's, again, it's another thing that would be fine if the tank would stay here, but with traveling to Germany, it needs to be as safe as possible.
What's your kind of philosophy on water changes in a new setup?
I always like to follow the daily water changes on the first week and every other day, second week, 2 times on the third week, and from there on, as long as you run the tank once a week. And water change for me is always 50%. And most people think this is for active soil. I like to follow the same routine with inert soil as well.
I do too. It's just for me, it's just a proven method to avoid early algae.
Yeah, and this is what newcomers don't really understand, that this sounds like a lot of work, but it helps you so much in the first 3 to 4 months when algae is gonna come anyway. So you can't really do anything about it. Algae come and go in the first few months. But depending on how well you follow this routine, the less work you're gonna have in the first couple of months. And we have most of the plants in the places on fill up. That's always
a good sign.
There's one floating, but this was planted by you. So.
Yeah, all the floaters will be the ones I did, of course. We've got some more to plant here. Thank you so much. Prepare those quickly. Yeah. So, is there any questions on the live chat? Do you want to kind of ping them over to the screen? I'll have a look on the Insta. There's some really good ones. Now, what's your favourite moss for a new aquascape?
Ricardia.
Ricardia camodryfolia, not strictly a moss, but we'll let you off. Well, this is my favourite question from Glass Habitat. How do you feel about George naming his dog Tommy?
Actually, when I first spotted, when you uploaded the first picture of Tommy, I felt a really big urge to send you a text if you miss me so much. But I didn't.
That's so cool. Well, it is named after you, and just to prove how much I love Tommy, he is actually my screensaver on my phone. There you go.
That's been going on since yesterday.
Ooh.
And
I will put it back to my wife's photo before I go home.
I think we agreed that you have to keep it until next time we meet.
Oh, we did, yeah. Sugar. Sorry, Emma.
Yeah, sorry, Emma. Really.
Oh, we've got a bit of a purging system going on. That's okay. How are you getting on, mate?
Yep.
Is it going to stay?
That's it. I think so. Should.
Now.
Maybe we should spray it quickly.
Oh, okay. The moment that most people have been waiting for, I'm hoping. Yesterday was a very special day for Tropica aquarium plants, social media. Do you know why?
Why is it?
We hit 100,000 followers.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's a big number.
That is, thank you to all the followers. Thank you to everyone that's been involved with Tropica aquarium plants Instagram. That's everyone that's used the hashtag #MadeWithTropica, hashtag Tropica aquarium plants. We're really grateful to all of you. It just makes us realise that there is a huge aquascaping community out there, and it's something that we're really happy to be involved with. You know, our aim is to make your aquarium a success, and hopefully, you know, by you following Instagram, seeing these inspirational aquascapes, some educational content, these live streams, etc., you know, it's all part of hopefully engaging with this lovely aquascaping community. So thank you to everyone, and as a real glorious thank you to all of you, we have an amazing giveaway. Do you know what the giveaway is? Have we told you what the giveaway is?
I've heard rumours.
Okay, so I'll explain what the giveaway is.
Whoops, we have it floating. Sorry.
Okay.
Can you stop it for just a second?
Yeah. So, first of all, I'll explain how to enter the giveaway, and then I'm going to explain what the prize is, because I want to kind of keep you anticipating. So, use the hashtag on your Instagram posts. It's Instagram posts only, so no stories, no reels, no video for this contest. Only posts, high quality photos ideally. Use the hashtag Tropica100k. That's hashtag Tropica100k on Instagram. Post only, and post a photo that best describes why you love aquascaping. Okay, so it could be a photo of an aquascape, it could be a photo of a fish, a plant, a human being working on an aquascape, anything to do with aquascaping, but the picture has to tell the story of why you love aquascaping, and then really think carefully about writing a suitable caption as well, because the caption has to fit the photo and tell the whole story. So we are interested, we're not necessarily interested in the highest quality super duper photo with the highest, you know, spec camera. We are interested in genuine stories about why you love aquascaping so much. You know, what is it connects you with aquascaping? You know, there's so much information on there about how to aquascape, you know, and all the good tips and tricks and all the equipment and all the methods. But actually, let's go back to the real kind of root of aquascaping. Why do you do it? We're really interested to know that, and we want to hear your stories. So please use the hashtag Tropica100K. Post a great photo of why aquascaping means to you, why you love aquascaping so much. And then the deadline is the Thursday, the 17th of March. That is the deadline. That is actually the next date of the Tropica Live featuring Rachel Ellis, Low Tech Shrimp Tank. Make sure you sign up to the newsletter to get updates on that one. And the prize, this is the prize, this is amazing. The prize is 2 days here at Tropica in Denmark, hosted by myself and the team at Tropica for probably the April week of Tropica Live. So you'll be here for 2 days during the Tropica Live week in April. You have the opportunity to be part of Tropica Live if you want to be. You don't have to participate. It'd be great if you did, but you don't have to, so don't feel pressured. You don't have to be on camera, etc. But you know, it would be lovely. But I'm going to show you around. You'll get shown around by all the guys here. You'll have a great time. Tommy can attest to that. What's it like being here?
I actually just had the same experience, and it was lovely. Okay. I've spent 2 days here. I've seen all the facilities, how plants are made in the lab, and then how they get potted and so on. It's really interesting, and I've learned new stuff still after
I learned new
10 years of aquascaping.
I learn new stuff every time I come here. Yeah. So that is the prize, guys. So it's international. So no matter where you are in the world, use that hashtag Tropica100K, post a photo of why aquascaping, what it means to you, why you love it so much. Make sure the photo matches the caption, use the hashtag Tropica100K. There will be full terms and conditions announced on the Tropica website, so keep an eye on that. We do have some legal things to think about, but use the hashtag Tropica100K, post some amazing stories of your photos, and we'll keep an eye on it. We'll give an announcement, and then one of you lucky winners is going to, maybe unlucky if you're spending 2 days with me, but one of you will come over here for 2 days. We'll look after you, get to do some scaping, full tour of the greenhouse, take you out for dinner. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited for you. Okay, the next thing is, are you okay?
Yeah, just switch to that one.
Okay. Just to give you some context, our marketing coordinator needs to work his arms out a bit more, I think, holding the camera. So the next feature of this amazing Tropica Live is we've got the most special guest that we can imagine, Mr. Holger Windeløv. Come and say hello, Holger, if you don't mind.
So yeah, well, I was so nervous, actually.
So this is Holger, and he has brought some special gifts for us.
So the man himself who found these plants in nature,
yes,
is going to look at my tank now.
Yeah.
So I'm really nervous. Oh, and you've really prepared this stuff.
Thank you very much. Always some rum, Havana Club. Well, I'm sober curious, so I won't be partaking, but I think you can.
I will.
A little.
Yes.
Have you got any glasses?
I have 2 in my pocket.
Take his glasses
Really?
out. He's got his hands full.
Really? Wow.
So we can turn that off now. Let's get this out. This is perfect timing. Do you want to take those out?
Yeah.
And then Holger's going to tell us some stories, I think. Let me pour you a little snifter. Is it the Havana Club you'd like, Holger?
That's a Havana Club.
This one? Do you want this one? Yeah.
I just heard about something was going on here in Tropica about Cuba.
Let me.
Sorry, I'm in front of the camera.
Let me give you his. Let me give you your microphone.
So no, it's in my left front pocket.
Just bear with me, Holger. I'm going to microphone you up. Yeah. We are live. Oh, there we go. Just clip that on you, sir.
Well, you couldn't hear me.
No, not yet. We can hear you now, hopefully. Yeah. So this is Holger Windeløv, founder of Tropica Aquarium Plants in 1970.
Yep.
And you're here to keep an eye on us for the Tropica 50th celebrations. So before we kind of go into some storytelling, personally, I want to say thank you for founding Tropica. I think everyone here wants to thank you because we wouldn't be kind of here without you. So first of all, thank you so much. It's a great honour for me personally. You're one of my heroes. You used to spend time with Takashi Amano, Heiko Blair, exploring the world, discovering all these beautiful aquarium plants that we're growing now in these greenhouses. So I just want to say how grateful I am for you, Holger. So thank you so much. Moving on to this actual aquarium and some of the plants that we've got in here. You discovered all of these?
I discovered all of these.
In Cuba?
All. It's only 3.
Yeah. Well, there's still 3 beautiful plants.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, I'm fascinated by the Hemianthus callitrichoides Cuba in particular. Can you tell us anything about that, how you found it and maybe some stories?
Yeah. What can I tell? I have been in Cuba many times.
Okay.
3 times without finding any plants. The 4th time I found 3 plants. And the most important for me was Hemianthus.
Okay.
And it was small. It was found in a small town called La Poza,
Okay.
not so far from Havana.
Okay.
And it was just found between some small stones. And by coincidence, I just brought some photos with me here.
Yeah.
So if you can see them.
Which camera, Thomas? This one. Should we get in closer?
Yeah, just coming to the
Tell me when.
Yeah.
I didn't really believe that this could be an aquatic plant. It was so small.
Yeah.
But because on that day I have not found anything. So that was the last
The last plant of
hour
the day.
before it gets dark.
Wow. Okay.
So we went to a small creek, like
Where's it growing? In between rocks?
here. You see it here between rocks.
Okay, let's just show you the camera. So actually growing almost like an epiphyte, like growing in between. Was there soil in between the rocks as well?
There is a little soil,
Okay.
but it grows out from the soil
Wow.
on the stone.
Okay.
And because I have not found anything that day, I thought, anyway, I bring it back
Yes.
and see what it can be.
Yeah. What year was this? 2001.
2001.
One. Okay. And you brought it back to Tropica. You take it to the lab to clean and grow, and or how does it work?
Not to the lab on that time,
Okay.
but we grew it in the greenhouse, and later it comes to the lab because it was much better to grow it as tissue culture
Oh, okay.
because it was so small.
Small, yeah.
Yeah,
And then it became one of the most popular carpenter plants in the
yeah,
world.
that was really.
You told me a story a few years ago about didn't you take it to a trade show in Asia?
That's right, in
What
Singapore.
Yeah, what happened? Tell us
Yeah.
about that.
When we finished the show, it was open to public,
Yeah.
and the Singaporean
Was it Aquarama? Was that
Aquarium,
Aquarama,
that's right.
yeah. Singapore.
They were so interested in the plant, so 2 hours before the show was closed, normally we sell the plants after. We cannot bring them back
Yeah.
to Europe. So there was a queue about 15, 20 meter
Yeah.
where people was waiting just to buy this plant.
Wow.
Because people could see the opportunity
Yeah.
in this small plant.
Because the small carpeting
Yeah.
plants are so popular. Any small plants are
And
popular.
that was just a time where
yeah.
Amano's ideas exploded all over the world. So that was
it's a real groundbreaking plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it still continues to this day to be one of the most popular. You know, sort of 21 years later after it was discovered.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. And then shortly after that, did you kind of, was it your idea for the Tropica Aqua Cube, the first kind of nano aquarium?
The Aqua Cube was just coming
yes.
on that time.
Yeah. And that was arguably the first sort of nano aquarium kit in the industry.
It fits into
the it's perfect.
Small aquarium.
And I have to be a bit self-serving here. You gave me a Tropica Aqua Cube in its box the last time we were here 2 years ago, almost to the day. So it's quite bittersweet that we're here now to re-celebrate, you know, Tropica's 52nd anniversary now. But yeah, thank you so much.
It was so nice to give it to you because I know how famous you are.
I'm not. Well, I'm only famous because you helped me get there. So thank you so much. That's for you. Thank you so much to Holger. Thank you so much to everyone at home that's watched. The stream will be available to rewatch if you like. Please do share it. Please do use all of the Tropica hashtags to promote your own social media. So Made with Tropica, Tropica Aquarium Plants, Tropica Live if you've enjoyed this show and it's been inspired you. Don't forget to tune in to next month's giveaway, next month's Tropica Live with Rachel Ellis, a low-tech shrimp tank. It's going to be super exciting. We do have the winners of these giveaways, 2 winners of course. The number 1 is Skovlundi. Apologies if I haven't pronounced that correctly. That's Skovlundr. Skovlundi.
Skovlunde.
Oh, is it a Danish name? Ah. Good, cheaper postage, like it. And then the second name is Eddie G. That's EYYG. Sounds like an English name to me. So again, good on the postage. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thanks again to the Tropica team. Thank you, Holger. Thank you, Tommy, of course. Thank you, Green Aqua, for letting Tommy off for a couple of days. I've really enjoyed myself, Tommy. Thank you. So it's great to see a master at work. It's great to see the greatest of all time here. Thank you, everyone. See you next month. Don't forget to share all the good stuff. Sign up for the newsletter. See you on the next one. Cheerio.